Captains or Pirates? Today's episode of Why They Fought comes from the Pennsylvania Gazette of March 15, 1775. It wasn't a good day for George Taylor of Wilmington, Delaware. He was sailing up the Delaware River to Philadelphia when Captain Graves of the Diana, a British schooner, boarded Taylor's ship and wanted to know the nature of his cargo. "Rum and limes," was the answer. But he welcomed them to look in the hold for themselves. They demanded his papers, and he produced them properly. But then they invaded the cabin, where Taylor had several £100 cash laying about. Merely for trying to oversee their conduct, the king's men, being insulted, knocked Taylor down and furiously attacked him until the deck was smeared with his blood. Then they threatened to drown him. The foul imprecations and cursing of the British sea dogs was so awful, the Gazette dare not print it. Captain Greaves tied Taylor's shallop alongside and paraded the small prize up and down the Delaware. And when he released the ship, Taylor was left so weak he was unable to pilot his boat and was taken home, where they feared for his life. And we have this from the May 14th, 1773 New London Gazette. A royal vessel seized a Yankee brig going to Boston with molasses, and before they released it, they allowed their British crew to steal all the clothing and linens on board the American ship, leaving the American sailors with only the clothing they had on. Afterwards, they halted a poor oysterman with a small boat not worth 10 quid. They abused him and took 5 bushels of his oysters. The next day, 2 American boys sailing a 2-mast boat carrying a barrel of currant wine fell into their trap. After cursing and reviling the boys, they tapped the wine, drew out about half, and dismissed them. 2 days later, they accosted a 60-year-old American man sailing a sloop from Long Island. When the old gentleman failed to lower his anchor quickly enough, they fired upon him, took him aboard the ship, and upon finding he had no cargo to pilfer, had him beaten. If you ever wonder why the New England militia had no problem firing upon British regulars once they had been fired upon themselves, a lot of it has to do with the vulgar disdain and perhaps jealousy British officials directed at their American cousins. In many instances, our ancestors were treated like mad dogs. It shouldn't have surprised the British when we bit back. Stay tuned for more episodes of Why They Fought.